It's extremely important to set a good first impression for every employee that you bring on. A big part of this is onboarding versus orientation. So onboarding is really the legal process of making a person an employee of a business. So that's the I-9, W-4, direct deposit information, employee handbook, all of those documents that have to be signed. The orientation process is really an operations function. So we want to make sure that we have training available for every employee that comes in. So it's extremely clear what their job is going to entail, what the expectation of that job is, who is their supervisor. And it's a step-by-step process so that employee knows what track they're on, they know the progress that they're making, and they have everything that they need to be successful long-term, not only from a legal perspective, but from an actual job performance perspective also. What do you do if an employee has an emergency while they're at work? The number one thing you need to do is you need to make sure as a part of your onboarding process, you have emergency contact information in your system. If that's online, if that's on paper, if that's in the person's employee file, we need to make sure that we have that employee contact information. We are required by law to contact the proper people to make sure that the employee is taken care of if there is an emergency. So obviously, if it's an emergency, we want to call 911 first, then go to the emergency contact information so that their emergency contact is notified. So make sure as a part of your onboarding process or as a part of your update process every year, you make sure you get emergency contact information. Every employee needs to get paid. There are many ways that you can do this. The first one is direct deposit information. So as a part of the onboarding process, you need to make sure you're getting the onboarding information, or at least the information that it's going to take for an employee to be able to be paid properly in a timely manner. One of the trends we've seen the last 5 years or so are cash cards. There are all sorts of different companies that will do this, and it allows the employee to get their money in a very timely manner if they don't have a traditional bank account to direct deposit money into. So if you are a business where this may be the case, it may be something that is really good for you to look into, that is at zero to little cost, that will make sure your employees are taken care of. It will make them happy, and quite frankly, will make your life easier also. As a part of every process that a business has, you want to make sure that the culture of that business is involved. What I mean by this is an example of onboarding. So with onboarding, it's extremely important you take a systematic approach towards it. Every employee that's coming into a new business is going to get a first impression. You want the first impression to be that this business has all of their stuff together and is prepared for that person to come in and start working that day. The very first thing an employee sees is that onboarding process, making sure that I-9's filled out, that W-4, emergency contact information, direct deposit information, employee handbook, any other information that an employee may need to start their job and have successful employment with you needs to be a part of that onboarding process, and you need to take a systematic approach to that. This is extremely important to set the tone for the culture of your business for a new employee. If you like this information and the content that we are providing, please like and subscribe to this channel. If you would like more information about us, please find us online at www.odshr.com.